was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, you know, shrooms, everything. And it was just an escape from.
And then, when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay, I get the mansion?
Yeah.
Diddy's secret is out again, and this time around, we're looking at what he did to Usher and Justin Bieber. Now, we all know he mentored Usher and all, but what if we told you that Diddy was also probably abusing not just Usher, but also 15-year-old Justin Bieber? Ready to find out more about Diddy's dirty secrets? Then welcome to Gay Bible, and let's get started. Before we go into details, y'all need to keep this in mind first.
48 hours. Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
Okay, now please hold that thought for us, because we're coming right back to it. Now, it would interest you all to know that Diddy took Justin Bieber under his care for 48 hours about 14 years ago, when the superstar was just a teenager. Now, we all know Diddy's history with teenage boys. I mean, remember what happened to Usher?
Went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Well, it seems like Diddy might have repeated history with Justin Bieber. I mean, first off, Diddy is not to be trusted with young boys due to the past allegations against him from the FBI. But recently, a clip surfaced, and we can't help but feel like Diddy might have done some wrong things to poor young Justin. So first, he gets to spend 48 hours with a powerful and famous celebrity, and that's where the whole thing gets tricky. I mean, we all knew what Usher faced when he hung out with older celebrities as a teenager. It may have been fun, but definitely not the kind of fun a child at that age should be exposed to. Back to the gist, Diddy took Justin to a Ferrari that had been packed in the garage and told him he could let him ride it as soon as he turned 16. Now, Justin was only 15 at the time. He tries getting ahead of himself, but Diddy tells him to slow down.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this will be yours. So, every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, complete front shot of this.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15, you could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
Alright, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Slow down. Let's slow down, Judge.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah.
Now, Diddy didn't just stop at giving Justin the Ferrari. Guess what he did next, guys? He offered Justin the mansion and told him he could have it when he turned 18.
Then, when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay, I get the mansion?
Yeah.
Now, this sounds like a wild dream for a kid, don't you think? I mean, first, Diddy promises Justin a Ferrari by 16, and next, he also promises Justin the mansion when he's just 18. So what could have been Diddy's motive for giving Justin these exorbitant gifts? We know Justin was a superstar kid and all. Still, given Diddy's history, we cannot help but think that perhaps he gave Justin these gifts just to lure him into certain activities that aren't proper for him to be engaged in. Not that there's anything wrong in giving him these things, but some parental guidance could have been instrumental here. Who knows? Anyways, Justin was very excited at the offer, and he obviously couldn't say no. I mean, who would? But Diddy said something that we cannot overlook. Now, back to the clip that you saw earlier that we asked you to keep in mind.
Like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose.
Please, who can tell us what Diddy could possibly want to do with young Justin that he couldn't mention in front of the camera? Thanks to his obvious body language, Diddy acted suspicious and Justin looked clueless. Could there be something that Diddy was gonna do that he didn't want anyone to know about? Well, we already knew what he did with Usher. The young and innocent Usher was exposed to explicit activities carried out by other celebrities under Diddy's watch. And not just that, he and Diddy even shared a bed. bed. Man, this is really disturbing. Could that be what he wanted to do with young Justin as well? Expose him to things improper for his age. I mean, Diddy even confessed he didn't have legal custody over Justin as he had with Usher, so he had no right to expose Justin the way he did. The ultimate proof that Justin was influenced negatively is his confession of his struggles with addiction and breaking the law. The superstar opened up in his docuseries that he was using drugs early in his career and couldn't do without them.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything, and it was just an escape.
I mean, doesn't that sound like Diddy's influence? We can connect these dots because Justin was signed to Usher when he started his music career. After performing for Usher at the studio, it didn't take long for Usher to sign him, giving Diddy access to Justin because Usher was mentored and groomed by Diddy. As we clearly saw, it didn't go well for Justin. According to him, he said he wanted to have a sustainable heart and career. He also told fans that he didn't want to fall apart as he needed to fix some deep-rooted issues in his life, and thanks to his wife Haley and other people around him, he had all the support he needed to fight off the bad influence from his teenage years and get clean. Unfortunately, Diddy's got a long history of sexual scandals, and it doesn't just end with his alleged abuse of underage boys. Aside from the FBI's investigation, which took place some time ago, Diddy is also known to sexually abuse other celebrities just to show him he's more powerful than them. Christopher Williams was one of the victims of his abuse, and thanks to the attorney who exposed him, we wouldn't have known about it. I mean, Jaguar Wright is notorious for calling people out in the industry and talking about their dirty secrets. And to be honest, we could have overlooked her accusations against Diddy about how the lawyer caught Chris giving him a blow and how Diddy threatened her not to tell anyone about what she saw. But with all this evidence glaring at us, we can't help but believe that Diddy may not just be gay, but perhaps he's also a sexual assaulter. There's just too much going around for us to ignore. Even some of his colleagues have accused him of being gay. A good example is 50 Cent, who insinuated that Diddy's gay during an interview at the Breakfast Club.
He said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Now, 50 Cent may have exaggerated in the clip, but we all know that Diddy shops for butt plugs. I mean, it's not enough to conclude, but we believe these dots are actually worth connecting. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, who was also really close to him, opened up about Diddy shopping for butt plugs.
As he going, I'm just looking at the places where he picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side, and then he picked like quite a few of them down. I'm like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there, and it said butt plugs, and I was like, hey yo.
Now all these things seem inconsequential, but they just might point us to the truth behind all these allegations. But guys, let's consider this. If we look closely at Usher's life and how he ended up, it is safe to conclude that Diddy was indeed a bad influence on him. I mean, look at the fact that Usher was actually guilty of transferring herpes to another man on purpose.
And the male accuser, although he has not identified himself, has alleged the circumstances surrounding what he says is exposure to genital herpes by Usher.
The two of them obviously had some form of sexual contact, which makes us believe that Usher might be gay, just like his mentor, who probably is also gay. And it is possible that if Usher wasn't exposed to the lifestyle he lived while he was a young and naive teenager, he'd probably have a different lifestyle choice and wouldn't have ended up infecting another person with herpes. That same thread follows through with Justin Bieber, as we saw how he lived an unseemingly lifestyle by doing drugs and even getting entangled with different women until he changed his ways and started working on himself to be a better person. Everyone clearly saw the patterns, and the only person we have in mind to blame for it all is none other than Diddy. Maybe we're wrong, but Usher and Justin are the two known teenagers Diddy mentored that didn't have their lives go exactly well as they grew older. And though one managed to set things straight later on, the other faced public and embarrassment after the news of him infecting another man went viral. So as long as it's on the record that Diddy mentored Usher and even had custody of Justin briefly, he definitely has to answer some questions. And aside from all these, Diddy's also believed to have murdered several artists in the industry who probably would have been alive and thriving today had he not gotten in their way. The claims that Diddy was behind the death of Tupac and Biggie are still strong even today, as many people believe without a doubt that he had a hand in their murders. But despite all these, we wonder if concrete evidence will ever come against Diddy. When are we gonna find out the truth behind these allegations? Until the truth comes out, we'll be connecting the dots and discovering more about Diddy.